Hello Factorio people, Fenton here, continuing the reverse mega base. Thank you for all the likes and the comments and the subscriptions and the views. Please continue to do the views. Means a lot to me. Thank you. Right, today we're going to do space science / optimization tech cards. In Krastorio 2 you launch a rocket and that does not give you any usable product for research. You have to then, you get space research data which you have to turn into optimization tech cards in a lab. But the rocket silos do work exactly the same way. Rocket control units, low density structures, rocket fuel. This is going to be a kind of awkward, which as we all know is my brand. I'm just going to take a sip of tea here. Do not adjust your picture. Ah, nice. The benefit of this is that you can use productivity modules on the rocket silo and then also productivity modules on the data that comes out into the quantum computer. Meaning that you don't need, if we want 5,000 optimization cards a minute, we don't need 5 silos producing 5,000 because we got the however many it is, 40% productivity bonus. So my calculations, thanks to factoriolab.github.io as always, is showing a mere 3,571 space science data per minute. That does actually involve some other issues in that the rocket silo has a whole bunch of animation time and stuff like that, which, you know, if you want 3,500 a minute, you can't just have 4 rocket silos going. So let's have a quick look, shall we, at that, just from a purely, just to demonstrate, of course. And then this one will be satellites. Can never remember where that is. Production, of course it is. So this goes quite slowly. Of course it does. You can put a lot of beacons around a rocket silo. Quite a lot. So let's move things along, shall we? There we go. So that's quite fast. Even without the singularity beacons. 98 rocket parts per minute. So you'd need 100 per minute. Would launch one rocket, which would give you 1,000 science. But then this part here of the rocket coming out of the silo takes apparently just under 15 seconds, and then there's a brief moment here where the inserter puts the satellite in, and then providing you remember to tick auto launch with cargo, the rocket will then, I'm going to stand away from this because it's quite loud, the rocket will then launch, and then this launch animation apparently takes about 20 seconds. So 35 seconds just to do all of this and then you've got your space. I think that the science data might enter the rocket before the door closes, but you still can't start inputting items until the silo is ready. So this creates some unique challenges. terms of throughput and exactly how much stuff we need. Let's bring this back up just so we can see exactly when the data shows up. That's not actually that loud, is it? Yeah, so the data shows up straight away, but the next rocket won't start being built until the doors are closed, and then off we go. I guess the easiest thing to do here in this method, in the sandbox mode that we're in, is to just up the game speed to 10 and just leave this going. Now that is going to cause some issues with the sound, because the sound doesn't play at 10 times speed. So you'll have to forgive me on that. I'm gonna definitely just stand away and do this somewhere else. There we go. So one rocket silo going, not as fast as possible, of course, because we haven't put the speed beacons around it. As many speed beacons as we could around it. You can see it's very up and down. I refuse to believe this is actually averaging 1,000 a minute. Yeah, like it's... We're probably going to have to leave this going for an hour to get the full... Didn't realise you could put that number higher than 10. And functionally it's not going 100 times speed, because the updates per second up here are... That is quite fast. It's very quick. It fluctuates down to 900 per minute every now and then for a moment, but not really not a moment in the game. If you go back down to game speed 1. So as I say, we're gonna have to... What is this big gap here as well, where absolutely nothing happens? Is it that the data isn't coming out fast enough? That can't be true. Let's go back. Oh god. The rockets will launch if the silo, even if the silo is full of data. You just won't get any data, so that might be fudging the numbers. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Remember that old meme video of the guy who watches his own stream and it sort of just breaks the internet. This is curious. This gap up here is curious. It's probably just the way the animations line up with each minute of this chart. As I say, which is causing the problems in the long run. Let's just leave this for a moment and we'll see what this stabilizes at. So you can get one a minute, and then every now and then the animation, the loading of the cargo and the animation just takes longer than one in-game minute, because the rocket, the cargo will be going into the rocket at like 59 seconds past the minute, and then 983 per minute. We're proving that with science. Now the question is, do we bung more speed beacons down? Whoa, that just changed to 1,000 per minute there for a brief second. I'm going to need a more consistent average in this game. You're going to need to do a better job. Let's go with 983. And the calculator says 3,571. So basically, let's just build 4 rocket silos like this. Let's just have 4 like this. And any excess we'll sort that out at the consumption of the card stage. You can stop launching rockets now, thank you very much. Alright, 4 of these bad boys. Not even a whole belt of any of the products. That's good. That's very good. And then obviously satellites is, you know, not going to be very many at all. But that's a separate challenge for... Right, anyway. What I wanted to try and do is I wanted to try and get... Is science just stopped working for some reason? Has. Why? Which one is it missing? Advanced. Oh no! Oh no! You're telling me my signalling's wrong? You're telling me I've gone through all of this and my signalling's wrong? I bet this gap isn't big enough for a... Yeah, it's not big enough for a big train, is it? Oh, that's really annoying. This is kind of a disaster, folks. So this train was stopping here because it couldn't enter the junction because this train got to this signal and was told it couldn't go any further. But the tail end of that train was blocking this junction, which was stopping this train, and the tail end of this train was blocking this junction, which was stopping this train. So it was deadlocked. They were both relying on each other to move, but neither of them could move because they were waiting for the other to move first. Which is all of the traffic jams with trains is basically caused like that, where two trains are waiting for each other to move. I had to fix that really quickly and easily here. As I say, the issue is that the gap between these sets of signals is not long enough for a whole train. So that either requires this to be moved down, everything here moved down by 1, but then you've got the same problem here on this side where this T-junction is too close to this, although this isn't a real T-junction, this is just my train unloader, so that is probably the answer. Because this gap is fine, right? I made sure of that. This gap is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These gaps aren't long enough either. Ah, balls. The whole thing can't be wrong. That's not allowed. This is, yeah, like these being so close together is actually a real issue, and it's only going to get worse the more trains we add. Oh. Okay. How long are my trains? 10. 1, 2, 8 wagon. No, they're 12. Oh, Christ. The solution, off the top of my head, is to have one space in between each T-junction that does not have any signalling in it. So that the gap between T-junctions is long enough for a whole train. Which would mean getting rid of these signals, leaving this space, moving this up 1, moving this down 1, and then moving this up 1 as well, so that in between every station there was one straight piece. Alright. I mean, the only other way to fix it would be to make the grid squares larger. I should have factored that in. I should have factored that in, the distance between these. If you get rid of these signals, then it's fine, right? Like, you don't ever get a deadlock here because this train will go all the way up here and wait exactly here, giving enough space for everything to happen. But here you've got a problem. If a train comes to here and tries to turn right, and a train is exiting here, tries to come down, it's not going to be able to enter this T-junction because the tail end of this train is still in the T-junction, so it's going to wait. But then it should wait here, is the thing. It should wait at this chain signal. So maybe it's just an issue here. Maybe... Because trains aren't... Well, no, trains might try and leave one and then try and go into the next, right? Because the output for this might be green circuits and they might just be trying to go in here. So this train might actually be trying to go north. So how did this happen? A train was here. No. This should all work. Should it? Shouldn't it? They shouldn't enter the T-junction and sit and wait. They should stop here. Oh, I don't know. Let's wait for it to happen again. Let's wait for it to happen again, and then we can actually diagnose it. I thought what I first said was correct, but a train shouldn't be sat halfway through the T-junction, which means the T-junction itself shouldn't ever be busy. It's just when two trains reach at exactly the same time. This train of singularity cards came out and got to here, and the tail end of it was blocking the T. No, that is right. Yeah, the tail end it got to here just as this train was also coming here and trying to turn right. So would that happen here? Sorry, this is a tangent, isn't it? Would this happen here? An advanced train, a train full of advanced tech cards would come out, come this way. It wouldn't ever deadlock here because it's on two completely different sides of the track. One side isn't going to block the other. It would get like this far and then have to stop because a train is turning right into the Singularity Tech card station, which would block this section off, but that wouldn't stop a train from... Oh, okay, alright. Nobody knows, is the answer. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. There is a problem. We're just going to have to wait for it to happen again and then fix it. Right, what the hell was I talking about? Right, yes, I want to maybe make the space data here and then pump it straight into quantum computers without having to build a second station, which will require 3 stations for the ingredients of the rocket control units, sorry, rocket parts, 1 station for the satellites to come in, and another station for the blank tech cards to come in. Because we only need 1 belt of each ingredient, we can fit 4, and then it's just a matter of how many blank tech cards we need, but we should know that because it's 2. Because it's still going to be this. It's still going to be exactly this. Yeah, just copy it. It's fine. It's going to be the same number of beacons and modules and stuff. It's not. It's just going to be this instead, which only needs 10 blank tech cards. In fact, maybe it will be less. Still going to be the 6. No, it is still 2. So that's fine, right? We can squeeze all this in 1 station without too much rigmarole, I would hope. Because we're just going to copy this This is fine. Without the infinity chests, just so that we don't start pumping out incorrect ingredients. Big electric pole is in the way. And then just another one here. Don't need this radar. For the tech cards. So it's actually perfect amount of space. Is it not? So satisfying when they come in there like that. Blank tech cards. This one is going to be satellites, and I'm not going to load up 8 carriages of satellites, alright? I don't think I need to explain to you why I'm not going to do that. Even though I over-explain literally everything else. I don't think I need to explain to you why that is not relevant. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it later. This one doesn't really matter. We'll do rocket fuel at the bottom. Low density structures. Rocket control units. Okay. Alright, so how do we then feed these into this with an output as well? Is this overkill on the substations? Yeah, just put them on the sides like this. Yeah, put them there like that, that'll do. So it's the same. I mean, do I want to use loaders? Or do I want to just... I'll use inserters, just because loaders is maybe overkill. Is it? Yeah, I'll do it like that, it's fine. Oh, I suppose we should check the output of space data. What did we say? 4. Oh god. You can't see the output. It's fine. It's not going to be a purple belt, is it? Because it's less than 5,600. 5,090 times 60. Yeah. 5,400. That's the one. That's the one. Alright, so then this is the bog standard thing we've done 1,000 times. On there, on there, on there. Satellites is definitely needs thinking about. Why did I get rid of that one? Don't know. Whatever. How do I actually want to do the satellites? I don't want to do it with logistics robots, but I could. If I'm going to be using logistics robots to move the fuel around, they're only going to be moving 1 satellite at a time, and they're only going to be moving 4 satellites per minute, roughly. So maybe I will just use logistics robots for this in the same way I'm going to use them for the fuel. And then that will solve a whole bunch of problems in terms of overloading on satellites and things like that. So, okay, sure. So we're going to have... Let's go with 2. Let's go with 2 carriages of satellites. Just because. And then it's a 2x2 train. And that will be unloading from this, but obviously I'm going to mimic it with this for now, just because I'm in a rush, because I spent 20 minutes talking about train deadlocks for no reason at all. still need these for the fuel. Alright, fine. What do you mean straight rail is in the way? I'll leave these down. I shouldn't have gotten rid of them. I'll leave them down just for... Still not working. Oh no, that's not power, that's logistics. That's fine. I need some mini roboports, please. This one. Small roboports, thank you. Give me a stack of those. No. Not in logistics network. Well, me? Oh yeah, no, me. I was going to say the item better be. The item flipping well better be. Alright, and then a requester chest goes... May as well put it there. Request one satellite. Just request the one. So then that won't move it until it's ready for it. Satellites shouldn't be in the network, so what will happen is that this mini one, in future, once everything is sorted, I'm going to get rid of all the roboports, and then each set of train stations is going to have its own mini network for moving fuel around. I'll limit the chests to 5, I suppose. I should probably do that with the circuit condition, but it's fine. Should have done that bit first. Okay, so then that goes in there. That's on auto launch with cargo. That's fine. And then the output, you can use a loader for the output, which is probably a good idea. Alright, that's fairly simple. So then we want 4 of those. Of course, the issue with this is that this is now in the logistics network, but the logistics bots could come from anywhere. It might be sensible to cut this section off from the network, at least from the logistics network for now. But I'll do that after I finish building, because obviously I'm still getting things delivered to me, so let's leave it for now. So then each of these rocket silos, they need to feed into 6 of these. But this only needs to be a simple... This is going to be less than a belt, so... I suppose I could do it like this. May have made more sense to point them at each other here and have the belt go down like this, but that won't be very symmetrical, so whatever. So then this just needs to go into a simple 4-to-1 balancer. And then I might build this one in a line because it only needs the 2 ingredients, so I'm not that fussed for space. Just give me the basic blueprint for now. Oh, I didn't get rid of the splitter. What do you mean you're not powered? 6 of these. That's correct. So 1 belt of space research data, just because it's more than half a belt, and 2 belts of blank tech cards. I will never know why, for some reason, I decided to make this as tight as possible when all of the other ones I've split into the big blue, the big footprint. Two belts. I'm thinking about whether I'm putting this 6 in a big line or not. Like maybe I rotate this way, and then have the line of space research data just go across, perpendicular to it. So rather than like this, where I then have to like put it across. Yeah, that's definitely going to be better. Alright, let's do that. There's more than enough space. Whatever, there for now. That also means that the logistics network can be slightly smaller because it only needs to go from here to here rather than all the way across, which I know isn't that far, but something like this. Nice if it was close enough to the substations too. But it's not going to be, is it? Of course not. Why would it be? Let's just leave it like that for now. I'll tidy this up later. Is each one of them only needs 10 a second? I wonder if I can get away with doing this. Well, I'm not going to get away with doing that for a start, because then there's no... I mean, this might work. Or, of course, there's this trick, which is always helpful. And then 2 belts of tech cards need to come in. Is that the wrong way? 2 belts of tech cards need to come in. Each one doesn't need 2, but I need to move 2. So let's... This is just a puzzle for me at this point. This is entirely not necessary. I'm just seeing if I can do it. I'm obviously not going to do it here because I'm not going to get the input of the belt like that, so... Or an output, in fact. So I suppose I could just run them across the top and do what I've been doing for all the other ones, so... Just get rid of these. I am going to need an output though, so maybe leave that there. Oh, have I moved too many? No, 836 was correct, wasn't it? Yeah. So then, put the substation there instead. And then just do this. It's a shame I put the tech cards down here, but I suppose I could. Blueprint with quantum computer cannot be flipped. Wow, that's a new one on me. That is a new one for me. Why not? That's very strange. It's a square. It doesn't have a restricted input or output or anything like that. That's very odd. It's fine. I'll just bring the tech cards in up here. The underground belts are so large, as we know. They have the properties of both being large and in charge. I need to put it there though, unfortunately, because I've lined this up with the other undergrounds. One tile off. How dare you? Alright, I'll do it like that. Fine. You got me. You got me. Ah! Every time. Copy the whole thing, please, you fool. You foolish boy. Huh? And there we go. Right, this might work. These are back to front as well. It's like, as this is back to front. Oh, what on earth has happened here? I really wish you wouldn't do that. Regular splitter, fine. Priority splitter, fine. Really? Starting from an underground deletes it. Starting from, I mean, anyway, whatever. Bug report. What was the other thing I thought was a bug last time? That almost certainly wasn't. It doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter. I'm just buying time at this point. Okay, output the... Ooh. Output the finished optimization cards. I'll put that there for now. I will change that, don't worry. Does this suck? Kinda sucks. Kinda hate it. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. New plan. New plan. These can come down here. These can come much, 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 much further down here. Like, much further. This doesn't need to be this fiasco. This can be this fiasco instead. Give it a slightly different flavour of fiasco. Do this as well. Just so that you don't have this slightly bit of overhang here full of stuff. This is even worse for this setup, though. But that's okay. That's okay. This means the tech cards don't have to come stupid distances for no reason. That also means I could probably get these substations to connect to the bottom set of pylons as well. Yeah. Yes, I know Singularity Beacon is in the way. I'm trying to get rid of it. Alright. Okay, this is better. This is definitely better. Oh, that's so close to being good. I can make it good. Kind of awkward. Should I run it up this way? Should I run them all up this way first? No, 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 no. Have some standards, man. Have some standards. Leave it one space. No! What the heck was that? I don't need that anymore. Oh, why are you telling me there's not enough rocket fuel? This is a prime example of why inserting from belts is not as good as inserting from chests. Alright, fine. Fine. Turn off auto launch with cargo so I can turn them all on at once. How can I turn them all on at once? I can't pause it and change them. I have to do like game speed 0.000, like it has to be at least 0.1. Okay, fine. Oh, does that really affect the... I didn't realise that would affect the speed I could do that. Or any of this, in fact. Still only letting me change one thing a tick, which I suppose makes sense. That didn't even do that. Alright, fine. They're just never going to be in sync. That's fine. Screw it. that tea's gone cold. I don't think this is going to work either, because it's going to be wholly reliant on my robots doing the same thing all at the same time. That's probably as close as I can be bothered to do it. Alright, we did it! That's fairly decent, actually. Why? Oh, of course. No, don't mind me, just being silly. Am I using the cards fast enough, is the question. This might not be working. Oh, that's emptied. And now that's emptying at belt speed. So that is now, and then... But that just means that they're not getting to the end fast enough. This shouldn't be more than a belt. So why is it more than a belt? Alright, they're just not going to be in sync. I don't know why I thought that would happen. Oh, it's because these stack to 1,000, so it's not... Okay. Oops. They stack to 1,000. So this isn't... This is not pushing on the tech cards until this gets to 1,000. Which it will, they all will have done eventually, but I ain't saying it's not good. It's not a good idea to do that. Does that mean this is definitely now not going to output? It will, it just needs to get rid of this backlog, and I might just help it along with that. Also to see if the insert is going to be fast enough, which it is. It is. Alright, that's stabilised. Alright, we do need some resiliency for this, because if for some reason the other sciences stall and this is going forever, we're just going to be launching rockets for no reason. So, the way around that is to load the data into a chest. And then connect the circuit network to this chest. Why I can't reach? What do you mean why I can't reach? How can this not reach? That is exactly... Look. The substation can reach. Huh? That substation can reach. So why can the wire not reach? Now you can magically reach. God damn. Connect the chest to the circuit network. Then connect these inserters to the circuit network. And then tell these inserters to not do anything if there is more than... Oh, I don't know. A 10-minute backlog of space science, I suppose. Space research data. Which which the calculator says will be 3,571. So let's say don't launch satellites, don't do anything if you've got more than 35,000 space data. If you've got 35,000 space data, cool it. Cool your jets, quite literally. Right, these are working as intended now, aren't they? Yes, no backlog there at all. Or no deficit, I should say, not backlog. I was too busy thinking about this backlog. Right, I think we got it. Let's bung the game speed up a bit and wait and see what happens. Which one am I looking at here? Space research data and optimization tech cards. Has there been an issue with the trains while we've been faffing around with this? No. Alright. That does not really fill me with confidence either way, to be honest with you. I definitely will need to look at that, but I don't want to get I don't want to get any more distracted than I was. Oh, excuse me, just having a stretch. 10 minutes, 5.1. I think we got it, folks. I think we got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. Cool. I honestly thought this was going to be a nightmare. I thought, oh no, I'm going to have to try and put all the things in one station, aren't I? I don't want a train full of full of space data flying around. It'd be easiest to just bring the bring the cards in. I wonder if it is better to just have this as 2 belts. If the top one is emptying before the rocket goes, then it's fine, right? Which it will be. Because, I mean, the other thing you could do is you could also hook the circuit network up to this piece of belt and say don't launch a rocket if this is full of tech cards. But that doesn't seem necessary. They're all going into this chest acceptably, but there is a fair backlog here. It might be better actually, because if this is full... Oh no, this won't ever get full, will it? I'm doing air quotes with my hands. This won't get full, because the limit of this is way more than 35,000. So this will fill up, and then it will just have 36, 37,000 in. So there will be more than enough time for the belts to empty before the next satellite goes in. Because as I say, if there's I think it's 2 stacks of data here. This will fit 2,000, and then you'll launch a rocket, and then you'll just get nothing out of it. But this is fine. This is working. And yeah, as we said, we knew that we were going to probably be overproducing on this, because this is making... I don't know if the calculator... I don't think the calculator accounts for that animation. I really don't think it does. But maybe it does. Maybe I did all of that unnecessary research about how many seconds the animation stuff took. Because this is saying 3,900 a minute. And this is saying 392 a minute. And obviously you need to make 100 rocket parts to get 1,000 space signs. So maybe the calculator does... well done. Well done, Factorio Rate Calculator. You did it. I could have just used that in the first place, but I suppose it was good to know. Right, okay, that's enough waffling on here. It works. Congratulations. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and comment and subscribe and all that doohickey. And I'll see you next time when we will have to do something that's not tech cards. Jeez Louise, I have no idea what that's going to be. I'll have a think. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye bye.